Hey, you guys, welcome. Hey, everyone, welcome. Sonia Tompkins here, formerly and continuously known as the Brick and Mortar Maven. I say formally, I kind of let the cat out of the bag that quick. It was a slip because I wanted to tell you guys about that later. But why I say that is because you guys, I'm actually going to be launching my new personal brand just under my name, Sonia Tompkins, and that is currently happening. It's been happening behind the scenes, but even though it's not done, I'm ready to tell everybody about it because I'm super excited about that. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. Many of you know me as the Brick and Mortar Maven, and I'm still that. I still do that. I still share real tactical, useful tips and information for you to grow your brick and mortar business and boutique. You guys know that those are my roots, the boutique industry, and I still love that. But there's so much more that I want to share. But excuse me, today, for those of you who are here, you guys have been following me. You guys are subscribe to the channel. By the way, if you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button now and the notifications button because you guys, I do share some really good information here on my channel and that will not change. So you don't need to do anything but just sit back and watch the evolution of the personal brand that consists of my different businesses within that brand. And you'll get more about that when you subscribe and hit the notification bell, cling, hit the bell. So today, you guys, what I want to talk about is the Instagram and Facebook shutdown and why, whether regardless if you have a brick and mortar business or full on e-commerce business, you guys, you need to have some things happening behind your scenes and have some foundation set up for your business so that when or if that happens again, because it will happen again. Thank you guys for being here. This is only my second time live on YouTube. You guys know, some of you may know, I tend to do a lot of my lives over on Instagram. You can follow me there at Sonia Tompkins. But normally my videos here for YouTube are uploaded. But this is my second time going live because sometimes I just don't have the time to, plan this out. I just go for it. So I'm just going for it here on the YouTube channel. So show me some love, say some things in the chat. Let me know who's here and why you're here. And if you have questions, pop those into the chat as well. But you guys know about a week ago, Facebook and Instagram literally shut the F down, right? And if you run an e-commerce business or an online business only, right? Some of you were severely affected by that shutdown. And for my brick and mortar businesses out there, if you were trying to send out communications and things like that on your social media channels, and you were getting crickets or seeing that something has gone wrong message, this is definitely a video or a live that you need to watch. So for those of you who are watching live, stay tuned. For those of you watching the video, continue to watch. So I was completely oblivious to what was happening, you guys, until about an hour or two into it. All right. So this time last week, literally almost to the day, I was being interviewed for a podcast. So excuse me, a little cold here. I was being interviewed for a podcast. And so the host, Curie, who hosts a wonderful podcast called The Sugar Architects, which is a podcast strictly for brick and mortar bakeries, asked me to come on and share some advice for her audience about how they need to run their business or things they need to have in their business so that they can increase traffic, increase their sales, and increase revenue and income for themselves. And one of the things that she mentioned specifically that she wanted me to talk to her audience about was email marketing and the importance of that for their business. She had read one of my previous blog posts over on brickandmortarmaven.com. And she was like, listen, I read that blog post and I need you to talk about that on this podcast. So I'm like, sure, absolutely. Let's go for it. Right. So we're doing our interview. A wonderful interview, by the way. If you don't, or you haven't checked that out, if you've never heard of it, make sure you run over and check that out when you finish watching this. But we did the interview, and in the interview, we're talking, I'm going into this whole conversation about email marketing and why that's super important for your business, especially brick and mortars. Sometimes brick and mortar businesses are so wrapped up, and you guys, I get it. When you're running a business, you are literally in the thick of running your business. And some things can kind of get pushed to the wayside. Like you may know you need to do it, but you just haven't gotten to it yet. So brick and mortars in particularly don't put a lot of emphasis on growing an email list or email marketing. And even a lot of online businesses right now are so hyper focused on the social media aspect, which is a great thing to do. It is a great platform to be on to promote and advertise for your business. However, it becomes an issue when you rely on these social media platforms as your main or only means of communicating with your customers outside of them coming to your brick and mortar. If you have a physical location, if you have an online store, that's it. If you're running your business primarily online, then you are kind of stuck. You have literally put all of your business eggs in one basket. And when you have something like a temporary shutdown or something more catastrophic, like, hey, Vine, we're going out of business, or we're not doing it anymore, or Periscope is no longer it, then where are you? And I was talking about this. So you guys, we get off of finishing that wonderful interview. This was like a 45-minute interview, and I had shared some things on my Instagram stories earlier in the day, not knowing. I kept seeing it say load, uploading, ... I moved on with my day. I had no idea till we got through with this podcast interview that as I go to share again on my stories, it's not uploading. I go to look at my feed. I can't access my feed. I'm thinking, well, maybe I need to update my phone. I go through this whole process of thinking there's something wrong with, what I'm doing on my end. And after about an hour and a half of this, I realized I Googled, Instagram not opening, and lo and behold, there was a complete shutdown on Instagram and Facebook. You guys, I am in the middle of a launch. So once or twice a year, I host an in-person 3-day workshop out in LA called the Buy Like a Boutique Boss, where I take boutique owners out and we do a wholesale and branding workshop for 3 whole days, you guys. It's a whole big production. It's my signature event. This is a big part of my business, you guys. It's a thing that I'm known for. And I'm in the middle of a launch for that. And social media is not working. Okay. But you know what? I had 2 signups, okay, for this event, even though social media was not working. And for me, it did not work for almost a full 24 hours. However, the reason I was still able to get signups, you guys, for this, the reason I was still able to reach my audience is because social media is not my only way of reaching my audience. That's not the only way I reach people who follow me, people who are, who have been a part of my community and tribe for the past 4 years that I've been an online consultant for retailers. You guys, I had an email list. I had sent out an email earlier that day, like first thing in the morning, to remind people that signups and registration for the workshop was, we're in our last couple of weeks here. So you need to, make sure you're you're in if you want to go. It's allergy season. So I had shared that in an email, and I also was letting people know, hey, I'm going to be doing a podcast interview because I'm in constant communication with my community on various channels. So I had sent out an email earlier that day, you guys. Now, what would have happened per se if I only relied on social media? Like the only time I'm going to promote is through my social media, or the only way I'm going to talk to my audience or my community is through Facebook or Instagram. That is guaranteed that would have been money lost that day. I can guarantee it. Why? Because those platforms were down. So how was I able to do that? One, I was able to email my list. Okay. So that's the first takeaway from this video that you need to know is that you need to have an email list. I don't care if you're an online boutique, if you only do pop-ups as your means of running your boutique. If you have a brick and mortar, you need to have an email list. And that should be priority number 1 in terms of getting someone to be a part of your community, right? I know you see so much online that says, oh, you need to have this whole system, this whole funnel. And you guys, if you've not heard of funnels, I would almost say consider yourself blessed because it can be so overwhelming that it makes you not want to take action for some people. Um, but basically, you want to be collecting email addresses from day one, like even before even before you open your business and you say, "Hey, I'm open for business." You want to be interacting with people on social media, and then that link in your social media profile, whether it be Facebook or Instagram, should be sending people to your email list because just for the reasons we just talked about. If it goes down, it blacks out, or it shuts down indefinitely, you still have a way of reaching your customers. Number two, the other thing that I have in place, you guys, is I have what's called a customer relationship management system. Now, my business, I'm a consultant full time. So, of course, that's a software that I utilize way more than, say, if you were just a boutique owner still. Not just a boutique owner, because y'all, I live vicariously through my clients because I still love that business. But what I'm saying is, if you're a boutique, you probably don't need a customer relationship management software. However, you should have a list or some type of software that tracks who your customers are. And some of those fields in that should be like your customer's name, a phone number, and or address. Preferably, I want everything. I want an email address. I want a physical address. I want a phone number. I want to know where you're at on social media, you guys. These are the kinds of things that you really should be asking someone who is coming on board and saying, "Hey, yes, I want to. I believe in you. I like what you're doing. I want to be a part of it." Collect that information, okay? Because you want to have that. So I had an email list. I have this customer relationship management software. So people who are, let's say, more like in the inner circle, maybe they are past or current clients of mine that I work with one-on-one, I have their information. So I literally can send them a text message, say to their cell phone, or I can call them directly because I have their phone number, you guys. And there have been times when I've needed to do that, or I've done that. Maybe something they sent in and something wasn't right. I needed to get a hold of them immediately. For those of you with physical businesses where you sell products and not services, what if they left something at your store? What if they, maybe you were supposed to give them a discount on something and didn't ring up correctly and you noticed it after the fact. You want to be on top of that before they notice it, right? Because if they notice it, they're kind of like, "Oh, okay, well, they trying to get over." But if you bring it to their attention and give them a call and say, "Hey, we were supposed to discount that. You know what? That didn't come up right. Let us make that right for you." Number one, you've been able to reach them and not relied on social media. Because how many times have you sent messages, DMs to someone on social media and cricket, right? Sometimes on Instagram, if you guys aren't following each other, you won't even know that you have a message until somebody else sends you a message that you do know, and you happen to see like, "Oh, message request, so and so would like to send you a message," right? Same thing on Facebook. Things get lost in the shuffle, right? So you'll score points for that. Number two, you will score major points for awesome customer service, for being that business that, hey, said, "Hey, we made a mistake and we want to make it right." Okay. The other reason I was able to make money, you guys, is because I have things like a website. Now, if you don't have a website if you're running an Instagram boutique and you don't have a website, I have all kinds of concerns and questions for your business's longevity with that. But if that's where you're at, you want to have an online presence outside of these social media platforms. So you want to have a website. And if you're not ready to go full blown, whether that be because of finances or timing or whatever, you can do something as simple as a landing page, you guys, which is basically, if I typed in www.thenameofyourbusiness.com, that first place that I land, that's your landing page. And so for some people, it's called a home page. Some people, like myself, I use my about page as my landing page. So when you go to brickandmortarmaven.com, the first page you're going to land on is my about page. If you go to my personal brand, soniatompkins.com, the first page you're going to land on is my home page, which is my landing page. But you guys can create a landing page. If you don't have a full website, you can create a one-page landing page that allows you to have a presence online, and it allows people a place to go to reach you. And on that landing page, you are going to have what's called an opt-in page where you can collect that email address. And believe it or not, although lots of people, there's nothing wrong with offering a coupon of some sort to get in exchange for that email. Let me tell you something. You don't even have to do that. You don't have to offer anything for free. What you do need, you guys, is just to say, hey, join my VIP list and stay in touch with everything that's happening here at Boutique. And it's really that simple. Landing pages are very super simple to make. They usually don't take a long time, less than an hour, you guys. You can literally make one in less than an hour. And because I have that presence and I want you to have that same kind of online presence and way to collect that information, you guys, you can make money even when social media is out. So I had sent an email earlier. People saw that email. They knew where to go. They were able to sign up for the workshop in LA. They were able to pay me. Boom. I'm getting paid even though social media is crickets for me, right? The other thing is I have ability to call people if social media is down. And you guys, worst comes to worst, I have physical mailing addresses for people as well. So people in my community and my tribe, I have multiple ways for me to reach out to them, text messaging, things like that. And the reason why people don't mind giving me that information is because I'm never spammy. I only send things to people when it's important, things that I know that they can use, need, or want. And I know that because they've told me. And they trust me with that information because they know I don't abuse it. So there's definitely things that you need to do so that you can build that trust with your customers, your clients, so that they know that as well, right? So if you guys want to know more about how to create a simple landing page, you guys, I'm going to put some links in the bottom of this video to help you with that. If you are not collecting email addresses right now, I'm going to put a link below to help you get started on collecting emails and having an online presence and a way to have a community outside of social media, guys, so that you as well for your business can continue to make money even when social media is acting a whole fool, right? I also did a podcast, like literally when I realized that the social media was down, I actually got on my phone and created an episode for my podcast, The Sonia Tompkins Show, and aired that, and then was able to share that via email, right? Because I have their email addresses. I was like, y'all, did y'all know social media is down? Because if Instagram is down, I can't post, hey, Instagram is down. Nobody who's going to get that, right? But they were able to get that second email with this quick little podcast episode that I created. So again, multiple ways. And you want to do this because you guys, you never want to have a block in your chain of collecting your coins, right? All right. So you guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Check the notes below for all the helpful links and information. And again, if you're not already subscribed, and you enjoyed this video, please make sure you subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for being here.